a bus. A fucking bus. With black windows. That bus just came out from a tunnel underneath the viaduct system. It came out of the wall, basically. It came out halfway up the Star City wall that St. Paul is not built atop of, but rests atop of. I'm at that wall, which I've showed you many times, and I'm at the downtown section. So I'm underneath the viaducts, which hold up the city streets around the buildings. The buildings go down below the viaduct, or in the viaduct system here, but because they go all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, baby. Who knows how far they go down? But there are buses with black windows. Before this bus pulled out of here, I saw a semi come out of this secret tunnel here, and it's a tunnel. There's a huge vault door, and I'll show you that door here in a moment. I'll show you that door. Now, what happened here was I saw the semi come out first, then the bus, and then I saw an SUV. I'll show you the SUV right here. Right there, with the Volvo making all the noise. But this down here, I'll show you. Oh, here's another truck with black windows. So again, that vehicle just came out from underneath the city. I'm pointing up towards the street. The street's up there. I'm underneath the viaduct system at the Star City wall. I've showed you this location before. It's at that huge gunite wall. There's I've in a past video, I was at a section of wall which was gunite, and that's where I am. And I'll show you where I am again here in the dark. I'll have my flashlight, and I'll show you here in a moment. So let's take a look around here, as I was just kind of, curious as to where they were coming from. That bus, the semi, and I do walk down there, and there was a guy making horrific noises. A guy who I think I disturbed. I think I woke him up. He was sleeping down there. But boy, was he making, I tell you what, he made the most horrific sounds I think I've ever heard in my life. And he was trying to scare me, I think, but I let him know it's going to be 5 minutes. Just want to see the doors down here or what's going on. So I did, and he continued to make horrific sounds. So I'm not going to play the sound when we get to that point, but it's rather disturbing. But by the time I leave, then he just says goodbye in a very friendly manner. Very strange. So I wonder if he's been planted here. I don't know. It was spooky. Just in the right spot, he was just in the right spot making the worst sounds, But anywho, let's continue. I'm gonna begin by getting my ass down there and show you where we are. And I'll take you where we once were. Maybe you'll remember. Meet you down there. Even got some spiral action going on here. Woo. Notice here, I came around this little Wibbity Susan here, and we're at ground level, okay? And there's still some stairs here going down, this way, and we're going underneath. We're going underneath the ground level now, see? So here's street level up here, but we're going underneath. See, shows you underneath street level, and there's masonry back here. What's that doing there? That was a big pipe. Oh God, manhole right there. Manhole alert, big manhole. Dummy. Those are always keys to the underworld, right there. That's true, pants on. Son of a bitch. Sorry, can you see? Right there. Yes, I ought to check that one out, pants on. I ought to check that one out. Back here. And it's gonna reach into a tunnel somewhere down below. Yes, it will. And mind you, we just went at the street level up here. This is gonna be going underneath the ground. So. Good point. Let's continue onward, and I'll show you where we are. And I'm gonna show you some cool things here. Some very cool things. So out that open gate, I just came from this very hideous, hellaciously hideous parking ramp here. It's hellacious. That hideous. Is very true. And look at all the metal. Oh, that's all solar panels. Oh, aren't they sciencey? At the Science Museum here, eh? This is the Science Museum. Right here. It's a big building. Not much going on in there. You know, not much going on in there.
No.
You know, I'm not interested. Not interested. I never was the child either. Never was. He never had my attention, eh? He never did. Yeah, the Children's Museum was more interesting than this one.
These are facts.
The Children's Museum was more interesting than the Science Museum. It was. So out of this doorway we go here, and I'm going to show you quickly what we're going to do. But I'll bring it back to where we once were, so maybe you'll remember. But we're going to go from this parking ramp here, and here's the wall, the gunite wall, and here's some of those. That's the area where I just kind of was in that ramp. I was this level up here, looking down, and a huge tractor trailer came out of the city. So that's street level up here. Let me show you. That's street level up there.
With the railing.
There's a railing up there, an iron railing, a beautiful one with heart designs. I'll show you that too. I'll go up there. And over here, so up there is street level. This is all viaduct systems, and the whole city is raised up in viaducts, so the streets are. It's raised up around the buildings, because you can see that the buildings go right down into the viaduct system and are in there. And huge tractor trailers are going are right here on this road into the city, underground, into the city of St. Paul, which is spooky to me. And a bus with black windows came out. Who was in there?
And an SUV.
They came out pretty fast. I almost missed a shot, but you saw it here. That was spooky. That was spooky. What's the bus doing coming out in the middle of and wait till you see those bolts that came out of the door. Wait till you see the door.
Yes, wait till you see the door.
This ramp to this ramp. This is a science museum here. Yeah, these pipes are, I mean, it's obviously a new unit, but they're old style here. Interesting. Strange noises coming from in here as well. Creepy, but I'll say something here.
As it's about midnight.
Through the door.
And there's a guy over here too, to my right.
Ain't been opened in a while. It ain't been opened in a while. I'm not gonna let it close because there's no handle on this side, eh? Ain't no handle on this side. There's my skateboard if I do that. I better take it with me here. Okay, let's grab you. You come with me. Now, somebody's over here and lit a torch. And it's burning right there.
Yeah, there's a guy over here doing something spooky.
I don't know what that is. But he's got a stick on fire there. So over here, do you remember this place here? Here's the wall. Oh, you can't see it.
No, we've been here before.
I got lights. I got some lights. Remember this wall here? Sorry. This wall. Oh, you see there's a big opening right. There's a big archway. I couldn't see that in the daytime.
So this is that fence I hopped over.
It's all screwy. There it is.
In that video, I hopped over this fence. That's where we are.
Wow. Interesting.
If you remember that, or if you've seen that video.
Yeah, it's a perfect arch. Hang on, let me... Sorry, my light's acting screwy. I have to, like, adjust it. I'll do that in a moment. But, you remember this place. I hopped over the fence here, eh? I had to hop over the fence and I showed you the wall here. The big melted wall. And it's all gunite right here. Remember the corner right here? Okay? So... that's where I was looking up there before. I was thinking, hey, I hear people up there, but I don't know.
And that's where that vault is.
I did. That's the street.
But in that street.
Beneath this, lower than this up here, is where we saw that bus come out underneath here. Like about right here. Underneath that street. That's going at an angle.
Right
which
here.
is the one that goes down. The street
underneath
here.
That.
That's the one with the traffic. But the one with the bus
underneath.
was a bit lower. That's the one with the traffic. But the one with the bus was a bit lower.
Lower.
So let me back up here, I'll show you. So now I'm a bit further back, and we can see, this is that wall, the Star City wall. It goes, we've seen it from down there, down by the train tracks and all that. We've seen it down over here, where there's that building attached. There's a building attached to it, if you remember that building right there. You can see it faintly center screen. We saw that one morning. And this is the wall, 100 feet tall here. Try bringing your army with your wagons and your chariots over this wall here, this Star City wall. There is a remaining point in the wall here, an angled point in the wall right there. Bullshit. Bullshit. Shut up. Doors. And they're still running the damn thing with steam every night. With fucking steam every night. With steam. Every night. And steam. Clean technology. Here's the big, thin, flimsy staircase I wasn't gonna walk up. I wasn't gonna walk up that. Paper keeps taking off on me because nothing is straight here and level. And look at how thin. You gotta be kidding me. All the way up from that? No way. No way, no way, and no way. The iron railings, look, and you'll see, inside and outside of the buildings and such, the iron railings always have hearts in them often. Heart designs are stuff that resembles hearts. So I'm in the tunnel right now, and I'll show you, we're going underneath. So the street goes on either side here, and we're going down below, right in the middle of the street here. There's a tunnel, and the street goes on either side of me here. So we're going back into the viaducts where I was when I first began the video, and we're gonna walk, or we're gonna skate down over towards, walk down towards that door where the bus came out of and see what's going on here, okay? Here, a quick look at the crumbling condition of what's holding up the city. Very alarming to me. The cracks going up it, it's leaching out lime and calcium everywhere, and it's just a mess. I'm not sure why that is and why it's so damaged, but it's heavily damaged in sections. And there's stalactites and stalagmites forming on the ground and from the ceilings of lime and calcium deposits leaching through the structure, just like you get in caves, quote unquote. And there's old square head pipes in here, like right here, the square head nuts and such. And then we got over here a new pipe on above, and that pipe below, there's holes in it. It's not being used. There's holes in it down the way here, rust holes, and it's an old pipe with old square heads fastening it on. So that's interesting as well. How old is the viaduct with this rebar just smoked out of it and completely disintegrating? Is it that poor of a material that they used? I mean, look at this disintegration here, and that's holding up the city of St. Paul. The streets are up there, for fuck's sake. That's what's holding it up. And well, that right there is a part of the parking ramp, but still, that's part of the viaduct system, and it's holding up the streets up above. And a lot of these columns here, which are a part of the viaduct itself, are in terrible condition. I'll show you that in a moment here. And here we go. Check out the condition of the actual viaduct. There's the streets up there. Condition of its actual column. That's a viaduct column here. And look at the condition of the lime and the calcium leaching out of here. And it looks to be burnt. And there's big cracks going up it. And that's what's holding up the city. Why in this condition? I don't know. I don't know. Some are new. A lot of these columns are new. Some are old. And it's just it's strange what's going on down here. And there's windows in that straight ahead there going into the city. Underneath the city there, I mean, in that wall, there are windows. So I'll skip ahead here to the great doors, the great vault doors. And this seems to be made likely of more that hardened wood masonry again, that hardened wood masonry technique. Strange. I find that everywhere. So as I said, there's a man making horrific sounds up here. I think I woke him up when I was skateboarding up above the wall here on the left. So he's making horrific sounds. That's why I have the sound off. He was making them the entire time I was in this viaduct system here. Since I re-entered, I think I spooked him. But I told him right here, there's going to be 2 minutes here, pal. So he continued a little bit, then he kind of quieted down. And then he said goodbye, really politely. But this is where the bus, a semi, before that bus there was a semi, then the bus, and then that SUV. They all came out of here. They all came out of here. We're 3 levels beneath street level, under the city, a secret tunnel going underneath the city. Who was in that bus? Okay, what the fuck is going on here? This is spooky. Okay, this is a private drive. Nobody knows about this drive back here anyway. You have to be in that abandoned parking ramp right there to even see it or know it's there. And I was. So that's how I found it. And here's that granited wall. And I was checking the wall out too. And above this wall here, there's more doors to the right. So here's a vault door with a bus, a semi, and an SUV came out of it with all black windows. All black fucking windows came out of that vault door right there. And there's a man screaming, making horrific sounds behind me. Well, he stopped at this point after I told him 3 minutes, pal. And then right here, there's another garage door right there with a gate up in front of it and another door. So very, very spooky. Not sure what's going on here. And by this point, our friend up here on the wall, who was nesting up here, has quieted down. And by the time I walk through the tunnel, he says goodbye in a very friendly manner. So, is he planted there? I don't know. Likely not, but ironic, eh? Right here at the vault doors, you get this guy making the most horrific sounds I've ever heard in my life. So he was trying to scare me, but it wasn't gonna go. That's not gonna fly, baby. It ain't gonna fly. I can show you up here a quick peek at something in the next tunnel up above here. I'll show you. So on this side of the viaduct, we have all sorts of melt. It looks like here. Ash, limestone, ash, melt. Sandstone, ash, melt. Inside of the viaduct. So how'd that get in there? How did that melt get in there? Because that's the same wall that we see, that we saw over there that was gunite. The same material on this side of the viaduct as well. And that's where the city is. That's underneath the city right there, downtown. So I thought I'd show that as well. There's all sorts of melt underneath this enormous viaduct. And look at the masonry going on here, this wall, this angled wall. I mean, who really built these? I mean, they're enormous. I don't know, because this bridge here is ornate, it's fancy, it's enormous, huge iron railings above, and the city is up above there. And there's melt underneath the viaduct right there. Melt. And this right here curves back. That right there, it curves. That whole bridge in the most beautiful way. So I just don't know if this was really done by us, but it was obviously done after the fact. So how long did it take for them to really rebuild, and prepare these cities? Because in the photographs that we get, the old photographs, when you look at these cities, with the quote unquote flooded windows, the buried windows, the streets are already raised. In all these photographs, the streets are already raised in a lot of them, and they're already ready to go. Streets are raised, yards are raised, stairs are already going up into second levels of buildings and such, and we already have that. We already have that in place. So these are things I ponder, questions I ponder, things I think about. But this is St. Paul, underneath the viaducts, and I wish you all a lovely day, evening, night, and I'll see you soon. Morning, afternoon,